Greetings, greetings, greetings. UAW Local 31. This is the November executive update. Joined with the beautiful, wonderful, eloquent benefit ladies. We got Miss Bobby Donnell to my far right, Miss Nancy Hicklin to my immediate right, and of course our shop chairman to my left, Doug Bias Jr. Do not forget the junior.
Good morning.
And special thanks to our Vice President and Communications Director, Tony Pryor, for holding down the camera work today. So any problems with the camera work, blame him. All right, so we are well aware of what's on the horizon. That's why we are here. That's why the ladies are here. That's why the shop chairman's here. We're here to give you this update about everything that's going on. We know the layoff's on the way, indefinite layoff for a number of folks that are converting from temporary to indefinite. And then we have some folks that were already in plant that are going out on indefinite. We are going to get to all of that. So stick around. We're going to get there. Pay attention. It's going to be a lot of information. We're going to put out a hard copy of information as well. You are not in this by yourself, guys. We have been here every step of the way. This leadership has been doing a hell of a job. These ladies have been taking on far more than they have to be quite honest with you. And they've been weathering this storm right here next to the the hundreds, if not 1,000 folks that have been laid off, 2,000 at one point, right? So we're not going nowhere. We're not ducking or dodging. We'll be right here getting you through it, okay? But have some patience with them as well, because they are doing a lot. Okay, no further ado, we'll get right into the unemployment of it all. Indefinite layoff packets are coming. Today is the Friday, the 14th. Not likely to have those completed. There's still some outstanding information that we need to get in there that is going to be vital. Have no fear. We're going to send a text message to your phone with these documents, okay? They will be available at the hall. We'll send them directly to you. They'll be on Facebook. We'll do all the work on that. So if they're not out by this Friday, have no fear. Everything's going to be okay. But we do not want to skimp on the information that we absolutely have to have in order to make this as streamlined a process as possible. So the ladies will touch on that here shortly. Also, and again, they're going to get on this, but I'll start a little bit. Everybody's situation is going to be so vastly different with this unemployment thing, okay? Some folks may have worked during this complete shutdown, right? Or during this layoff, temporary or otherwise. Some folks may have not. Some folks may have already had a second job from previous, right? There's still some question on whether or not the state of Kansas is going to deem us eligible, even if you didn't work at all, except but for the week that we all came in May. So those are some of the things that we still gotta iron out on the details. That's why it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all type of scenario. Again, the ladies will get to that, but I wanted to at least get out in front of that and kind of temper the expectations on how this information is going to come to you. Temporary unemployment law. So there is another meeting that I have coming up next week, the final meeting, we hope. There are some key components in there that will virtually we'll never have to do is look for work provision as we had to do it under a temporary layoff. I said it like that because the layoff that we are embarking on now is not a temporary layoff. So it's not going to affect this current layoff. However, if and when we ever see a temporary layoff again, which is highly likely, that's when we will see the benefits of that. So ultimately, it's a good thing. I'm extremely disappointed that it's not going to affect us in this current state, but ultimately in the future this is a good thing. So I'll keep you guys up to date on what exactly those languages is, or the language is, and exactly how that affects us coming up here soon. Adoptive family, I know there's been a lot of buzz about that. this is usually, you know, Adopted Families, the program that we do extremely well. You know, we've blessed hundreds of families over the last 30 years through that program. We've raised a ton of money through the basketball tournament and other, you know, donations just on the floor. It is a beautiful program. We are still deciding how we're gonna manipulate that because we have so many folks laid off. So it's gonna be a little tough with, you know, 1,000 folks laid off to turn around and do an Adopt a Family program the same way that we have before. Okay. We'll get creative with it, so just be on the lookout there. If you're in need of assistance during this holiday season, guys, don't hesitate to come to the hall and call us. Leo, myself, brother Vice President, any of the benefit reps, anybody, just let us know. We have partners and programs in this community that are designed to do this thing. Okay, so if you need help, guys, please reach out to your local union hall or local union official so we can get you the help you need best we can, okay? Last but not least, from my end, the repairs. Many as you guys know, we've been doing undergoing a ton of repair work over at the Union Hall, things that have needed to be done for, you know, 2-3 decades. We got a roof. We got the parking lot, which was in disrepair as well. There's some lighting changes that happened over there because the old fluorescent lights, the water from the roof was damaging that and causing a fire hazard, as well as some other minor work, ceiling tiles, things like that. That is virtually complete. So all of that major work is done. I want to say thank you to anybody that stepped up during this time. You know, pop in a ceiling tile, you know, time or treasure, man. Whatever you guys were willing to give during this time frame, we saved a ton of money. All right, I know we spent some money, but I assure you, with all the sweat equity that folks put in, we saved a ton of money with just people wanting to volunteer and give back to this local union hall. So, thank you so much for that. With that, I will pass it over to our dear shop chairman, who will give us a bit of a shop update.
All right.
Brother Doug.
Thanks, President Wilson. So, tell everybody hello. Get started like we normally would. Right now, currently, we have 58 grievances in the procedure, 15 of those being discharged, and working down through that. Now, everybody remember, most of the discharges that are in that are tied to the local agreement. So, as that comes up, talk about the local. We haven't had any movement. We're still kind of deadlocked with management. We had some discussions this morning, the plant director and myself. So we'll see. There's some things we give them to see if they come back with an answer. So hang tight with us. We're trying to get that resolved. So as we move in, most of you probably seen the shop update we put out yesterday, and it went out online yesterday. So let's talk about, like, first of all, vacation hours. For those that have been in here working and going out on layoff and you do not have your 26 weeks in, I want you to understand, if you did not get 26 weeks and you worked or took a day of vacation or a VR day, you're going to be expected to pay that back. You got to have 26 weeks worked in. So for some, when you get that bill from General Motors, because they will send it if you're not employed and you're out on layoff, they will send you an actual, what looks like a bill when you get to, you know, at the end of the year. Indefinite layoff, as we all know, that's what we're converting over to. November 17th is still the date. We have roughly 135 individuals that are in the plant through the 14th. They will be released on the 14th and go to ILO status. So with that, there's been a lot of changes. One, it brings a redistricting. I think most people have already heard that. Sign-ups are coming up next week for District 3, District 4, and an alternate position on District 1. So be on the lookout for anybody that's interested that is out there, but we'll be doing that redistricting, and the vote will be later in December. December 4. So with that being said, along with that comes a reduction in national appointed, whether that be a Doc 46, a Doc 7, or under benefits language is where the international language comes from. So with that being said, we have completed our redeployment plan. That'll be starting Monday. And for benefits, we'll be down to 2 benefit reps, 2 alternates. And currently, I have an agreement that management will leave the 3 ladies in benefits currently. Will stay there through the first of the year, and then we'll re-meet and reconvene when we come back from Christmas break. Have a feeling we're still going to need a 3rd body in there, and we'll move on. Like everybody, take a chance if you do, and you see Zoki or if you see Roger, to thank them. They're going to be hitting indefinite layoff. They've done a good job in GMS and in Zoki with EAP. Roger had GMS and VPAC. Want to thank them personally. They did a great job stepping in and learning the job very quickly. And just to be turned around and told, hey, we're going to be going to indefinite layoff, and they don't meet the criteria to remain in the plant. So, with that being said, Eric is going to pick up EAP along with the ADAP duties he already has. Chris Fireburn is going to pick up GMS, and then we're moved Lee. He's coming down from the floor up on the mez. He's going to go to the Learning Center. He's still going to do his job that he had there, which is ISO and suggestions, but he's also going to start doing password resets and helping people with vacation schedulers. Along with that, our Vice President Tony in communications, he'll be helping with those tasks as well. We still have both safety reps, Paul and George. They'll remain where they're at. Dan Hartzell will remain in IH Tech Ergo, and then we got an alternate position we need to fill. AJ is going to go to 2nd shift safety training and be the next alternate safety rep. And I think that pretty much gets us through what we're doing as far as redeployment. So if you guys keep that in mind, again, Lee will be in the Learning Center from here moving forward and can help you with any of your needs in the Learning Center. And then Tony will be in communications, which is over in the trim offices. If you need EAP, you'll start going to Eric on Monday, and anybody with GMS questions or VPAC will go to Chris. And also with VPAC, Lee will be helping with VPAC as well. All right, so sorry about that, folks. Let me get back to my notes here. I want to talk a little bit about our holiday pay. So with the folks that are going out, if you were laid off, and I'm going to explain this the best I can, so everybody pay attention, because these are not 3 Mondays. It's a Tuesday and 2 Mondays. So November 4th, 10th, and 17th. If you were laid off, effective as those dates, meaning the folks that are in the plan is the easiest one, 135, your effective date will be the 17th. We did have people that volunteered to take a layoff in the middle of the week of September or November 4th and November 10th. With that being said, you will be entitled to Thanksgiving holiday pay and half of your Christmas pay. Again, those laid off effective the 4th, the 10th, and the 17th. Contractually, you will be owed half of the holidays for Christmas, and you will receive Thanksgiving holiday pay as well. We will ask you, the benefit ladies will go through this again, we will ask you to wait till Wednesday to make sure you have the correct total dollar amount that General Motors paid you. A lot of folks have done this. They said, well, I know I'm going to get 2 days pay, so I'm going to go figure out my wages and do all that. What happens is we don't get the number correct, which will flag you with the state of Kansas, and state of Kansas will say you're thinking fraud and all the good stuff, and we don't need that. You don't need it. We will help you get through that, but if you do as we request, wait till Wednesday to see your stuff. So the way this is going to work is 2 days of the holiday pay you're going to receive the week of Christmas, and then the following week that the New Year falls in, they're going to pay you 2 days of holiday for that. So your paycheck should show 2 days during the week of Christmas and 2 days during the following week. Wait till Wednesday to look at that. If anybody wants to personally go read that, I did put it in the shop update, which is online on both pages. It is paragraph 2.8 of the National Agreement. Can't express this enough, folks. Update your information with General Motors and the Union Hall. Please update your information, because if you're in the callback status, if we move forward and they need to start calling people back, there are a majority of our people that do not have a phone number on file, or even a correct address. Please make sure you do that. If you need help with that, again, you can reach out to Lee and you can reach out to Tony, but you'll have to go do that through Workday and change and update your information. So that was the shop update. Plant items that are going on. Currently, Bolt, you guys all know we're into sellable units. Right now the launch has went off. The report I got today, the first ones we ran like an 83% quality run yesterday, which for a car that is has some engineering issues, that's not really all that bad. Hopefully by the time we get into the next week or two and get past this alternative build that we're doing, and when I say alternative, most people know that we had to do some what they call a bullnose plate put in on the seat braces, and then there's some brackets that got to go around the battery, and then some foam that are going into rockers. Be patient as we work through these. These are all engineering changes, and that should end. The bullnose is already ended as far as drilling and installing the plates. We're just in a normal assembly at this point. The other two items, dealing with the res battery and dealing with the rocker foam, that will go on until February is what we are being told. That will be when the shipment of batteries with the correct change will be in here. And these are not major issues, folks, that will keep us or dissatisfiers for the customer. It's an engineering issue that the plate on the side of the res is not thick enough. That's why we're adding a C bracket to it to thicken up that structural area. That goes along with the bullnose that we did. And these are all cars that were in the first run. That was an engineering change after the barrier testing. So we're making our progress through that. As far as Equinox goes, I know there's a lot of rumbling going on. When's it coming? When we doing what? Folks, nobody from Salary has talked to me about Equinox other than what you guys already know. They announced, I believe it was last week or the week before, that we would come back with 2 shifts when we get back and Equinox is launched. So what that means, the Equinox will be launched on first shift, and then shortly after second shift will come back. Don't know the exact timing, but it's less than a month is what has been said. And that is to launch it on the first shift, second shift come back during the middle of that launch to launch it on theirs, so we can keep our quality numbers up. But this is all subject to change because this is just preliminary talks. Equinox is going to bring good things to us because of just the pure numbers that they're building for North America. So, want to kill the other piece. I've been asked a ton of times, is the Equinox, are we just an overflow plant? We are not an overflow plant. What we are is a dual source plant. SLP is going to produce the same Equinox that we're producing for South America sales. North America sales will totally come out of Fairfax. We will build everything for the States and everything for Canada. And roughly this year so far, those have been 217,000 units to date of last week when I looked it up. That is the number that they built for North America. Folks, that'll put us back to where we need to be. My understanding is the number will not change, but we are not a overflow plant. We're just going to be a dual source plant that SLP builds for this region and we build for that region. Doesn't change anything what's going to happen in the future, because we still have the commitment from the company that there will be affordable EVs that come behind it. That is where they're still at. Could that change? It could, depending on what political atmosphere we're in, and 2, what does the customer want? General Motors is evaluating that all over. So I think most people know Detroit Hamtramck. They got people on TLO, and now they're going to put people on ILO. LGR has things going on there. Lake Orion has things going on with layoffs, and down to Spring Hill, they have some layoffs going on as well. They're in the TLO state, bringing in the Blazer. But anyone that has an EV in their facility right now is going through the same thing we are with pulling back production. So we'll get through this mess together. Hopefully in 12 to 18 months, this will just be hindsight to us. We'll be back into normal business, normal production, and hopefully moving into where we're actually hiring more people and maybe adding a 3rd shift, which that's the goal of the company, is to make this a 3-shift operation that we haven't hid. We've been very clear that that's where the company wants to take us. So the last piece I'll lead everybody up to is there been confrontation between the local union and management. I'm not going to tell anybody there's not. We have had some friction here in the last couple months just with trying to get things dealt with that are normally not issues. Dante and myself sat in on an all-president chairman call this week with the vice president, with all the chairmen and presidents from CCA, GMCH down to assembly, batteries, everything. So we are not the only plant that's going through this. There are other plants that they are actually pushing harder, and they're not even having good dialogue or good discussion. We may have our differences here, but I can tell you between the leadership you guys have elected, we are still going to the meetings. We are still pushing forward with the members' needs, but there has been some friction here of late, and we are working through that to get us back to where we are not. And so we can basically, at the end of the day, folks, be men and women in leadership roles and just do our jobs. So Dante and myself are holding ourselves professionally along with our team. Not going to say management is not, but they are pushing us into corners that they want us to do things differently. And that is to react unprofessionally. And that is something we're not going to put ourselves in that position, nor are we going to put our membership in that position, because if we stay with the friction, nobody wins in that, folks, and it hurts the floor. So when you guys see me and you're asking me, and I'm saying everything is good, I am trying to make sure that we are good, because at the end of the day, I can have a pissing match with the plant manager all day long, and it's going to affect the people on the floor, and that's not what our leadership's doing. Your leadership is making sure that we take care of you guys. With that, I hope everybody remembers tomorrow's union or Saturday's union meeting. For those that made it, hope you got your questions answered. For those that didn't make it, I hope your questions got answered here. And as always, I know you guys reach out to me on Facebook or in the office if you got any questions, but I'll ask you to make sure you reach out to your district rep as well if you're calling me, so they know what's going on. With that, I'll turn it back over to Dante.
We'll take it. All right. Thank you, Brother Chairman. So, a couple quick finer points Brother Chairman touched on, and
sliding me out.
Yep.
Have a good day.
A couple finer points that Brother Chairman touched on that I will just kind of bolster. The election. Sign-ups for the election will be November 19th. That is from 6 a.m. to 4:30. 6 a.m. to 4:30. So we'll open it up to Union Hall a little early so that folks on their way to first shift can get in. So 6 a.m. to 4:30, November 19th. The election date is going to be December 4th. I believe those are all 2 hours after the shift. Open for 2 hours after the shift. Okay, guys? So make sure you come out and vote. That's the redistricting. I know there may be some question of why. The why is simple. We had to wait until after the ILO, all of that shook out, so that the people that were going to be in the plant and vote and be eligible to nominate or sign up were eligible to do that, right? We didn't want to have the confusion of folks thinking that they were eligible to vote or thinking they were going to be in there and not. So that is the why. Those are the dates. Make sure you come vote. Dues. One more thing on the dues. So I understand there were some issues with dues, and this is from via our financial secretary, Leonardo Carrillo. Most folks that had a problem with dues being taken out twice, what that was is folks that came back to work. So you have sub dues, which is only an hour pay, and then your regular dues, which I believe is still currently 2.5. If you came back after the sub dues had posted, right, they already pulled sub dues, which is only 1 hour, and you came back to work, well, that had to be rectified, right? So that's what the additional charge was. For the most part, that was everybody's scenario that came to Leo. If you feel like something's wrong, please call Leo, call the hall, and they will get that taken care of as well. So, with no further ado, I will hand this off to the benefit reps. The ladies are going to dig into the unemployment, the sub, and then the next steps for the indefinite layoff. Ladies.
Hi, my name is Bobby Denell, and I'm going to start it off, and Nancy Hickman's going to catch you up on the final part of it. We have 3 scenarios, so I'm going to do scenario 1. The ones that are currently out there And the ones that are getting laid off today, what you have to remember, today is the ones that are out there, today is your last day for filing for, you can file Monday, but you'll be filing for this week. And that would be your last time to file for what they call temporary layoff. Starting Monday, November the 17th, everybody will be rolling into what they call indefinite layoff. Okay? Based on that, if I would say the majority of you guys, nobody that I know of that will be filing for unemployment until your anniversary time comes. If you don't know when your anniversary is, you need to get in touch with unemployment, or go into your unemployment site and pull up your document in the MONDAT, monetary determination, and it would let you know exactly when your date is. Or if it's, for example, if it's the 30th, go in there and try to file for unemployment to see if it'll let you in. If not, get in touch with the unemployment that Monday to see if you can open up your claim for the 1st. Okay? Trying to speed all this up. Try to help you guys out as much as we can. Like you said, we will be in the office. You do need to do a monetary determination in order to roll over to your new year of unemployment. Okay? Hopefully, it'll tell you that you have 0. You won't have to do anything. But if it comes back that you do have money, then you guys have to follow the same procedure that you went through at the beginning of last year when you first filed. Okay? We do have details here. Job search, yep, you still have to do job search. But hopefully everybody will come back and say 0. So we'll go from there. Nancy, do you have something?
Yeah, so with the, good afternoon, first of all. With scenario 2, I'm going to talk about the people that are, the 135 people that are in here currently working. So if you had exhausted your unemployment before you came back to work, you would then go back out and start filing on a week later, not November 17th, but the following Monday for your first week of sub, okay? Because remember, it's a week behind.
Mm-hmm.
So what you'll do is you'll file sub, make sure you verify your unemployment determination, monetary determination, in order to see when you need to reapply, because it's not going to be the same for everyone. Also, with you people that are going out on layoff as of today, or I'm sorry, Monday, the November 17th, you will be getting holiday pay, okay? As the chairman talked about earlier. Holiday pay, please wait, the process hasn't changed. Wait until the following Wednesday. We have those dates here on this paperwork in order for you to verify your pay, so you can make sure you know exactly what you were paid for your holiday, so you can report that to either sub or unemployment depending on where you're at. Also, like I said, the process has not changed as far as waiting until the following Wednesday in order to review your holiday pay on iPay or your iPay. Also, we have scenario 3, which Ms. Bobby talked about a little bit earlier, about 0 earnings. When you reapply for your unemployment, if you have 0 earnings, you are going to have to reapply every 3 months. Okay? What that is make sure you pay attention to when you first apply, if you have 0, when your next time is to reply, because what it's going to do is it's going to take you to the quarter. For example, if you apply in December, it's only going to go till the end of December. You're going to have to reapply in January if you have 0. But remember, look at your end date. Okay? If you have any questions, call the unemployment office. They will help you. They will tell you when to do it. So with 0 earnings, you have to reapply every 3 months. That way you start the new quarter, and you would have to submit that 0 monetary determination to sub. You then go online for the sub website. Again, to upload that, the quickest way to do that, screenshot it with your phone, upload it while you're in there. There's a place that says upload, so you can put that on file and it automatically goes right in there. Also, the sub, you guys, the sub site hasn't changed. It's layoffbenefits.com. I know we posted a thing on there saying the new way to get on there, but that's for the people. It takes you to the same place, the gmbenefits.com. There, I know everyone does a little different, but it still takes you to layoffbenefits.com. Also, we have provided everyone on this information Kansas workforce numbers, addresses. If you have issues, you have to re-contact them with scenario 1 and get all that updated. Your resume, keep an eye on the RESEA, the BAM, the MRP, keep all that up. Also, there is a site, there is a counter on your unemployment, I'm getting confused, I'm looking on your sub for a counter. So if you want to know how many weeks you have claimed, you can click on their sub counter and you can see exactly how many weeks of these 52 weeks that you have on IDL available at any time. Just click on there, you guys, and you'll see exactly how many weeks you have available. With that being said, I think that's it, Dante.
Yep. So just a quick little recap before we let you guys go. Okay, I know it's been a lengthy video, but all of this is vital information. Okay, so scenario 1, option 1. This is the possibility that we may face. Okay, guys, that's you got to reapply. Your benefit year's ended. You're currently already on layoff, and let's say you don't have any benefits available. Right? Was option 1 no benefits available? Mm-hmm. No benefits available. Option 1. Right? That means you're gonna have to reapply every 3 months, and kind of go through that every quarter to recertify that you don't have benefits, and you're just gonna stay on sub. No harm, no foul. Nothing changes in the process that you're currently on if your benefits are already exhausted. All right. Second scenario. You're laid off, right? And you're going to end up with holiday pay because you were one of the 135 folks that were already in the plant right now. Those folks that were already in the plant that are leaving on November 17th to go on to ILO, indefinite layoff, those folks are going to be eligible for holiday pay. You're going to be eligible for Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's. Now, the brother chairman already spoke about, if you left prior to the 17th and talked about that. So you're going to be eligible for some version of half of that. Okay, so just pay attention to your specific scenarios. But that is another possible scenario that a bucket of our folks are going to be in. And option 3 is, of course, you are eligible for benefits with unemployment, and you're going back through the whole process of, no different than what we were doing just last year around this very same time. So that one is one that you guys should know, and just keep in mind, nothing's going to change in what you guys had to do. The new law is not going to affect us. You will have to look for work. You will have to do the reemployment plan. You will have to do all of those steps that you did last time. Okay, guys? So listen, I know it's a lot. I know it seems a little complex. I know it's daunting. You ain't by yourself, guys. These ladies are working their tails off. Ms. Deidre included in that. Ms. Bobby, I think you have one more thing.
Yes. If you received a letter from General Motors telling you to address your unemployment, what they more or less is telling you that your time is about to run out, again, call unemployment. Find out when is your anniversary date. Okay? If you have any problems with that, then call us and we'll try to help you as much as we can.
Yeah, if you guys would look at your unemployment site, back in 2024, you got the first 3 documents. Your monetary determination letter is in the first 3 documents that you ever received from the unemployment office. And that's going to tell you when your end date is, okay? So just pay attention to that, because that's your vital information right there.
Okay. Last but very not least, I got a correction from our chairman. Our chairman had to cut out. He had another meeting he had to get to, but he left out of that meeting to make sure that he got this correction in. Okay, guys, he misspoke a little bit earlier. He talked about the vacation time being 26 weeks. If you didn't have, I think he said if you don't have 26 weeks, you're gonna have to pay back the vacation time. He meant to say 13 weeks. You are eligible for half your vacation time. Okay, guys. So if you only work 13 weeks and you've taken more than half, you are gonna get that bill. If you work 26 weeks, no harm, no foul, everything's good, right? As long as you haven't, if it's less between 13 and 26 and you're taking more than half, you're getting a bill, all right? So that was the correction. Last but not least, this packet that we are working on will be available at the doors, will be available at the hall. If we don't have it out by November 14th of that in the business on Friday, we are still going to send it as a text message to your phone. We're still going to put it on Facebook. Stay close, guys. We got you. We are here. Ladies, anything?
That's it. Thank you.
No, thank you. Just you guys make sure you use your benefits, okay? That's what it's there for. Let's utilize it. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Be safe.
Solidarity, guys.
Thank you.